welcome to the newest RSVP Northern Virginia podcast. This week, we're chatting with RSVP volunteer specialist Carly Hubicki, who will tell you about some of the great upcoming events we have in March 2018 for our 55 and over volunteers. Thanks so much for joining us, and we hope you enjoy the podcast. Hi, welcome to the March 2018 RSVP newsletter podcast. This is Rob Payne. I'm here with volunteer specialist Carly Hubicki. Today, this month is a busy month for us, so we're going to forego the video hijinks that we normally entertain you with, and we're going to go get right down to business. Carly, thanks for being with us today.
Yes, of course. Glad to be here.
Great. Well, let's start off. This podcast is going to be out a couple of days after the start of the month. So the first thing that we have coming up, just sort of a last call reminder, is on Wednesday, March 7th. And you want to tell us what's going on Wednesday, March 7th?
Yes, of course. So March 7th is our annual RSVP recognition event, and we will be out at Wolf Trap in Vienna. So we will be recognizing all of the wonderful volunteers that we have with RSVP and presenting Presidential Volunteer Service Awards to those volunteers that volunteered over 100 hours in 2017. So that will be really great, and we will have food and refreshments, and then we will get a behind-the-scenes tour of the Filene Center. So definitely a good event to come out for.
That sounds really good, and that's President of the United States Awards, just for those of you that haven't
Yes.
heard or gotten these before, and we're really proud of the 21 people who've accomplished this. We're proud of all our volunteers, but we're really happy that we're able to do this, and it ought to be a great afternoon. The event's being catered by the famous 29 Diner in Fairfax City, and we want to appreciate their cooperation and their help, and it ought to be a great afternoon. So that kicks off the month. What's next after the big party on the 7th?
Okay, so next up we're hosting a volunteer training. So again, another benefit of being an RSVP volunteer is we like to provide trainings throughout the year. And we're really glad to have Steve Artley, who is an award-winning and internationally syndicated editorial cartoonist. So it's going to be a workshop on cartooning. He's going to go over the background of cartooning and the process that it takes to create one, and then he will go through a hands-on kind of activity to get everyone to create their own cartoon. So it should be a lot of fun.
That sounds really good. And Carly, you were telling me earlier that Steve is quite accomplished. His work has appeared in the New York Times, the Washington Post, Newsweek, Politico, and he is also the regular cartoonist for the Alexandria Gazette, which is part of the Connection newspapers, who have done a wonderful job in the last year in particular of covering RSVP events. So we'd like to give them a shout out, and we're particularly happy that he's going to be here. Mm-hmm. Now we've got our friends over at Junior Achievement. They're looking for some helping hands over there, and you want to talk a little bit about that?
Yeah, so there's a few dates that they're still in need of some extra volunteers out at their Finance Park location in Fairfax City. And so that would be helping the 8th grade students that come there to kind of go through a budget simulation. So the volunteers are there to help guide them with the different parts of their budget and answer any questions. So definitely check out the dates for that and see if you're able to help come out and volunteer for the day.
That's great. And if you haven't been to JA Finance Park, it's really, in 2 words, mind-blowing. And they do a fantastic job of educating all ages of Fairfax County school students on how to handle money better. And it's really an amazing approach. So even if you go over there and volunteer for 1 4-hour shift, I promise you it will be well worth your while. Mm-hmm. Now, while we're talking about JA, I think we're going to have another event of our own at JA. Is that later in the month?
Yes, correct. On March 22nd, we will be having an orientation out at their Finance Park location. So for any new volunteers looking to get involved, you should come join us at 11:30 at the Fairfax City Finance Park location.
That's wonderful. That's really great. Now, we want to give a quick plug here before we go any further for some of our other podcasts. This is Rob. One of the things we have coming up later this month, no date yet, but it will definitely be this month, are a couple of podcasts on the Burke Fairfax South Shepherd Center. And I probably just garbled that. But in any case, the Shepherd Center activities, we're interviewing Tracy Stevens, who manages the Fairfax South ride program. And just today, as we're taping this podcast, earlier today, we got to spend some time with Mona, who is one of our fantastic RSVP volunteers who drives folks back and forth to doctor's appointments in the Woodlawn, High Blavala area. So you're actually going to get to see firsthand what she does in one of our upcoming podcasts. So we're really excited about that. I'm trying to think if there are any other things that we've done recently on the podcast that might be of any other. Well, they're all of interest, but if you go back to our YouTube page, RSVP Northern Virginia, you'll see an entire list, and we also post them on Facebook from time to time, actually every week. So that's good. Now, what else do we have going on this month that we want everybody to know about?
Well, another event I'd really like to highlight is our Lunch and Learn on March 29th out at the Lincolnia Senior Center in Alexandria. That will be at noon. So again, any new volunteers looking to get involved, or even current volunteers that want to come out and join us for lunch and talk about their volunteering experience, all are welcome to come out and join us.
And we're really excited to be there. And it's not official yet. We're keeping our fingers crossed, but we might have a special guest at that event that has paws and 4 feet. So we're hoping that's we're working with our friends over at Volunteer Solutions, and we'll please keep posted on our Facebook page, and we'll send out an email. But we're going to have an interesting guest for that one, and we're really excited about that. Now, March is a busy one. Before we go past March, are there any other things in March that you want to point out, Carly, about things going on?
There was just a couple other things. So another junior achievement opportunity. This one's not at their finance park. It's actually in the classroom. They need more volunteers out at Bucknell Elementary School on March 23rd from 8 to 2:30. So again, helping with financial literacy, but with a younger population. So that should be fun. And then we also had the Fairfax County is looking for more volunteers for their Baskets and Bunnies event. That's on Saturday, March 31st from 10 to 5 in Fairfax Station. So.
And don't forget, and I'm very excited about this, our March group service project is going to be at the beautiful River Farm. River Farm is really easy to get to. It's right off of GW Parkway. On your way down to Mount Vernon, right outside of Old Town Alexandria. The American Horticultural Society is headquartered there. If you're interested in gardening, it's a fantastic place to be. It's right on the river, and they actually filmed a movie there with Kevin Costner called No Way Out a long time ago. Very famous place. So in any case, that event will be going on Tuesday, March 20th from 9 to 12, and we hope that you can make some time to come out, get your hands dirty, meet some other folks, and meet some other volunteers. It's really it's a unique place, so we're really excited about that. Now we can talk about and one other thing before we get into April, because April's a big month for us too. Please check out the newsletter if you haven't already. We are doing a close-up feature on one of our great volunteers, Janet Garber of the Northern Virginia Senior Olympics, among other things, and you read some how Janet got involved and why she enjoys RSVPing. So let's talk about April real quick. It's a whiles away, but we want people to get some stuff on their newsletter, on their radar.
Yeah, definitely. So Thursday, April 19th, mark your calendars. It's going to be the Cabot Gratitude Grill. So in partnership with the county, we're trying to get as many volunteers to come out for this wonderful event that will be hosted by Cabot Cheese. So they will be catering. And it'll be out at Lake Fairfax Park, and will be under the large shelter and picnic area from 11 to 1. So it should be a really great event for just to share appreciation for all of our wonderful volunteers.
That's fantastic. And we also, one other thing that will be going on, well, actually two other things in April in a 4-day period. Number one, on the 27th at Waterford at Springfield, we will be having participating in the 2018 Fairfax County Volunteer Service Awards. And am I correct to understand, Carly, that RSVP volunteers can get free admission to that event?
Correct. So as a benefit of being an RSVP volunteer, we cover the cost for the breakfast. So we encourage all of our RSVP volunteers that can make it out to sign up so that they can attend.
And the deadline for signing up on that is April 6th. And we really encourage you to do that. It's a great way to meet other volunteers. We'll have a lot of dignitaries there. Congressman, Chairman Bulba usually shows up, and so it's a great way just to sort of get a state of the volunteer in Fairfax County. So we hope you can make that. And then 4 days later, one of my personal favorite events, which RSVP will also be participating in, and I believe also we will be using volunteers there. At the 50 Plus Employment Expo at the Fair Oaks Marriott. If you've been to this event in the past, it's a great event, and it's a great venue too, because at Fair Oaks there is plenty of parking. It's right off of Route 66. And I want to emphasize one other thing. They call it an employment expo, and it is, but there are also a lot of great volunteer opportunities that will be on hand there, including RSVP will have a table, but some of our partners, I believe, usually have tables also. So that goes from 10 to 2 Monday, April 30th, and we hope that you can carve out a couple of hours. They also have great seminars. AARP will be there talking about if you are looking for a job, how to apply for jobs, where the jobs are. There'll be a resume critique session, just a lot of great things. Anything else in March or April? And we will have an April podcast too, but any other things that you can think of, or any other shout outs you'd like to do today? Just
No, I think that pretty much covers it. Definitely, if you want any more information on any of this, check out our website. The newsletter will be posted there. That's www.rsvpnova.org. And so click the March newsletter link, and it'll take you right to the newsletter with all the details.
That's right, and we just want to thank everybody again for all the fantastic work that you've done in the past month. Carly held a wonderful seminar for engagement leaders, and how many new engagement leaders did we get at that? Four new engagement leaders, yeah. And we're always still looking for additional ones. If you're ever interested in learning about what an engagement leader does, just please give Carly a call. And let's go over that contact information one more time. If they want to get in touch with you, what are the 2 or 3 best ways to do that? Yeah, definitely. So you can either call me at 703-403-5360 or email me at rsvp@volunteerfairfax.org. Wonderful. And if you know of a friend or a spouse or a girlfriend or boyfriend or whatever that hasn't been out to volunteer yet with us, please be sure to pass on the link for this newsletter, or also, better than that, not only pass on the newsletter, but maybe even this podcast. We're always looking for new volunteers, and you guys out there, the volunteers that see this newsletter initially, you all are our best representatives. And so if you can pass the word on to your friends that, hey, this is a place you should check out, we would love to meet more new volunteers. So that should do it for the March podcast newsletter. We promise next month we'll get back to our video and have some fun there. But thank you again, Carly, for being here today. Of course. And for everybody out there, we look forward to seeing you at all these different events. And especially we want to see you at Wolf Trap. So if you get this podcast on Monday, don't forget about it. There's still time to come out there. Even if you can just jump out there at lunch hour for an hour, it'll be a lot of fun. So thank you again. And that concludes our podcast. So have a great day and go out there and do some good. Thank you. Bye. Thanks, everyone. This is Rob Payne, and thank you again for joining us for our March 2018 RSVP Northern Virginia newsletter podcast. We hope to see you at one of our upcoming events this month. For more information on RSVP Northern Virginia, you can visit our website at www.rsvpnova.org, or you can call our volunteer specialist, Carly Hubicki, directly at 703-403-5360. This is Rob Payne on behalf of Carly Hubicki and the entire RSVP Northern Virginia team. Thanks so much for tuning in, and we hope you'll join us next week on another RSVP Northern Virginia podcast.